Good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Ramesh here from C Dental Masters. Happy to see you all again. And this is a special webinar. It is not on any clinical subjects. This is the reality of dentistry. The topic is life of a dentist in the COVID era. The topic for discussion is life of a dentist in the COVID era. It is like it's a battle which we need to fight together. So I feel it is high time we all join our hands to fight this COVID. That's why we have put the caption as "Come on, friends, let us all face the challenge together." So the topic goes like this. It is the life of a dentist which we are going to follow as a journey. Like life of a dentist at his home, life of a dentist at his workplace, and life of a dentist in the outside world. So our topic of discussion will cover all these three. Now I am going to cover my part, that is dentist at his workplace. Okay. So everybody wanted to know about this, right? Everyone wanted to know about this. Some dentists have already started their practice with whatever protective equipments they have, and they have their own protocols. I'm very happy to see the confidence among every dentist in opening up the clinic. But guys, I'll tell you one thing. Your practice, if you want your practice to stand out from the other practices, we need to upgrade ourselves to the best of best. So the aim of this presentation is to make our practice the best in our place, because I feel responsible for my patients. I'll repeat once again. I feel responsible for my patients. I feel responsible for my family. I feel responsible for my society. So I will take utmost care. Without any preparedness, I will not enter my hospital. Maybe I am in a very hot zone, hot spot where I cannot immediately start my practice. Like Chennai is very close to Tiruvallur, so I cannot start. So we have tried to
Ramesh.
simplify things. It may not be the
Ramesh.
perfect. Yeah, tell me. Yeah, sir.
Sorry to disturb you, Ramesh.
Yeah, tell me,
Jay
Jay.
here.
Yeah.
Please put your the other phone to the mic to unmute mode.
Okay.
Your voice is echoing. So
Okay.
Put the other phone to mute mode.
Yeah, just a minute. It is mute. It is muted. The other one. Can you hear Jay now?
Yeah.
It's better now? Jay, is it better now?
Unmute yourself, Jay. Unmute yourself.
Jay.
Yeah, your voice is little bit echoing, Ramesh.
Okay.
It is.
Okay. Maybe it is because of this room it is echoing. It's not clear. Can I continue now?
Continue.
Yeah. So our practice should stand out in our place. Okay. So the aim of this presentation is not to give a perfect guideline. There's no perfect guideline, to be frank. Every day it is changing. Whatever we speak now may not be reliable the very next day or the very next hour. This is the real scenario here. So what I wanted to say is dentist at workplace is the topic which I'm going to take. Okay. I'll take you through this journey now. First thing is, before stepping into your dental hospital, you need to prepare your dental hospital first. That is the first thing which I'm going to speak about. The next one is you need to prepare a checklist for your hospital. Why I'm saying your is definitely whatever we give may or may not suit your practice, because every practice is unique, every location is unique, and every dentist is unique, and every patient is unique. So my point is, we are giving something which is somewhat universal, but this is not the perfect. You need to sit and write whatever that can be done. Maybe you can grasp some points here and you can work out. So let's start from here. So I'm going to put three things here. One is we need to prepare our dental hospital. Next, after preparing our dental hospital, we need to prepare a proper checklist for our hospital. Next is you need to prepare yourself as a dentist. You should prepare yourself, and every team member should get prepared to face this challenge. Let me proceed now. Preparing your hospital. I'll tell you one thing. This is a golden word which you need to take it from me, right? Be a minimalist. Remember this word. Be a minimalist, because lot of things, even we will say lot of things, but think in every angle. Think from your financial angle, think from your practice angle, think from your patient angle, think from your location. Everything is should be customized. Nothing can be there is nothing called universal guideline for a dentist, to be frank, in this COVID era. So be a minimalist. Whatever we say, take it whatever suits you. Please be a minimalist. Next. So what are all the steps that you can take to prepare your hospital? First of all, if you have opened up your clinic or you are not opened up in your clinic, whatever it is, just take this advice from us. Please declutter your hospital premises first. What do I mean by declutter? Because I love to keep a lot of wall hangings in my reception area, like my degree certificate, my achievements, my gold medal certificate, my course certificates, some beautiful wall hangings, lot of things. I love to keep all those in my reception area. There is one photo in my personal operatory, my college photo. I love that photo with all my friends. They are always, I feel like that, right? I used to have this for last 18 years. Now, what I'm saying is, please declutter your hospital premises thoroughly. Remove all unnecessary things from there. What do I mean by it? Remove unnecessary chairs, remove unnecessary tables, remove unnecessary wall hangings. The number of materials or the things are more, the work will be more for the hospital staff. So declutter your hospital premises first. Make it as minimal as possible. Whatever needed, you should have it in your hospital. Whatever that is not needed, either you remove it or sell it or bring it to your house, and wherever you can stock it, you can stock it. So declutter your hospital premises first. Next, I strongly suggest you, if your place is in some rented place, and if your whitewash has been done a long back, please do that. That is working wonders in my place. Why I'm saying whitewash? Just to make the people feel that your hospital is clean. Nothing else. Nothing else. No interiors, no big colors, nothing. I don't mean all that. What I mean by whitewash, if possible, do a whitewash. Treat it like after there is some big function, treat it like that. Because it is a function. What I'm saying is it is a function. It's not an easy take to go in the COVID era to practice dentistry. That makes your area clean. So clean every corner of your clinic area from patient entry to exit. Next is, do not leave any material open as far as possible. Always keep them in the closed containers. What do I mean by closed containers? I used to keep a lot of small materials in trays. That is how I practice. Now we have bought some plastic boxes because it makes very difficult. One more thing which I wanted you all to know is, I didn't separate this from AGP and non-AGP, like aerosol generating procedure or non-AGP. End of the day, we will land up in doing AGP. So the aim of this presentation is to make you ready. Maybe we may not do that AGP now, maybe after a month, after 2 months, I don't know, whatever it may be. But our preparedness should be towards that AGP, right? So do not leave any material open as far as possible. Always keep it in closed containers. Now I'm speaking about how you are preparing your hospital. Next is, just a minute. Yeah. Many of you would have got CCTV cameras. There are some young practitioners in the group. I strongly recommend them to have a CCTV camera, because from one point of contact, one point area, if you want to monitor everything in your premises, CCTV camera will be a great tool. Then plan your reception area protocols, like how are you going to plan your barrier? When the patient immediately enters, directly they rush into the receptionist or whoever stands in the waiting area. That is their first target. Naturally, they'll go into that area. How are you going to create a barrier? You don't have to put a big plastic sheet and put a barrier. Maybe you can put a red line or red tape and indicate that the patient has to stay there. So how are you going to plan your reception area protocols? Plan that. Next, some marked area should be there in the reception area to mark the place where the patient has to sit. Put some chairs there, put the marked area. Try to keep up the social distancing in the reception area. I'll tell you one thing, friends. If you follow all this, naturally the patient will know the seriousness. They will keep up the appointments. If you're going to put the same chairs, if you're not going to make any changes in the hospital, they'll not know the seriousness. They'll come as it is. Make all these changes. Service, before entering your clinic, almost our clinics are closed for more than 50 to 60 days. It's not fair to use an air conditioner, right? We are advised not to use an air conditioner. If you are prepared to use with an HEPA filter or air purifier, ion generator, whatever it is, then you can use your air conditioner. So if you're going to use your air conditioner, make it a point before entering your hospital, you service the air conditioner, air cooler, RO water purifier, and whatever it is. Next is ensure proper ventilation of air. As Dr. Gopi Krishna clearly said, for clinics who doesn't have an AC, who doesn't want to use an AC, it is best to have an exhaust fan with metal blades. Especially, there are a lot of exhaust fans which are coming with the plastic blades, which is not so effective. With the metal blades, you as Havells have a very good exhaust fan. I think that costs around 1,350 to 1,500 or 1,600 something. Try to buy that exhaust fan or pedestal fans. What I'm saying is, you are preparing your hospital first. You are preparing your hospital first. That is more important than preparing yourself, because only when the war zone is ready, we can go and fight there. Okay. So next is plan for a dedicated area of sterilization and disinfection area. It may not be a big clinic, maybe a corner. That doesn't matter. But fix a place. That should be the highly clean place. If possible, if the patient can see that, it will be very good. If the patient can see the B class autoclave or N class autoclave, whatever sterilization equipment you have, even if a sterilizer, whatever it is, but plan an exclusive sterilization and disinfection area. Show them that this is a disinfection area. Prepare a corner. I'm not saying this for big hospitals. Even for small hospitals, you can plan a corner which is highly sterile. This is how you do. People should know. Next is plan for your exclusive donning, and this may not be suitable for many clinics. We are there in a shop. How will you have a separate room for donning and doff? But you need to do something about it. You need to do something about it. At least a corner, at least a screen, at least a place. When you want to don or doff, that should be the area. Donning area should be done a different place ideally, and doffing area should be done another place ideally. So plan. Without planning, you'll just go inside the clinic, you will wear everything. Where will you put your surgical gowns or scrubs or PPs, and where will you doff it? It's very difficult. Plan that before itself. Next, plan your operatory. For example, people who are having 2 or 3 operators, it is very convenient for them, right? One operatory, consider that as an AGP cubicle. What I mean by AGP, aerosol generating procedure cubicle. That place is dedicated only for aerosol generating procedure. For example, I have 2 operatories. I have decided to convert one cubicle into an aerosol generating cubicle. That will be exclusive for AGP. Another is called non-aerosol generating procedure. Plan. Only when you step into your clinic and plan things, all this can happen. Next, make a present list of all the consumables and non-consumable materials. They are like gold now. Because if you're going to invest a lot of money in again buying all those things, it's very difficult. Make a list. Next, once you make the list, check for the shelf life and the expiry date of all the materials and the medicines. Friends, I'll tell you one thing. Just check the shelf life, check the expiry date. If you feel it is going to expire, please share it with your friends. Share it with some young dentists who are there nearby you, right? So that the material is not getting wasted. We are supporting our profession. Share it with your friends, share it with the group members. But check. Because there are certain materials which we are not going to use it for very long time. We should be judicious enough. We should have that knowledge to either share that. Otherwise, it's going to go into the dustbin. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, fine. Next, specific area should be planned for placement of awareness posters. I'll tell you one thing. Your COVID consent form is not going to save you, right? There are 2 things which are going to save you from the court of law. One is your awareness posters, and your change of things, or how you make the patient aware of the disease, is going to save you from the court of law. You need to take photographs of that awareness posters, whichever you have kept in different places. So allot an area, maybe a small corner, maybe a small notice board, whatever it is, but make it a point. There should be some awareness posters there. Then what are we going to do for the drinking water facility of the patient as well as your team? What are you going to do? We need to plan, because people come. Anyway, okay, they'll come, they'll directly coming into appointment. If they ask for a daughter, what will you do? We need to plan. Next, what are you going to do for your nail decontamination? This is very, very important. Many people say virus dies, that dies, whatever it is. What my point is, it is a virus is not going to stay in the dent care lab box for a very long time. I don't mean that. But the person carrying that, he may be a carrier, he may not be a carrier, whatever it is. We need to do this nail decontamination. Any post or courier or lab trans, whatever it is, they have to deliver it in a tray or in a dedicated place. They have to keep it. Then some staff has to disinfect that, and then only you are supposed to touch it. This is the changes which I wanted you to make in your hospital. Maybe there are a lot of changes that can come in. Then plan how you are going to collect. Where are you going to store the biomedical? Biggest challenge. Friends, believe me, I have not even bought even a single PPE, like disposable PPE now, because I don't feel like buying it. I don't know why. Because where will I store it? Where will I store it? After using an with an aerosol generating procedure, after doffing, where will I store it? Because by my biomedical waste person comes and collects it. He comes once in 10 days. Sometimes he doesn't come. So I have to ensure that before that, if I'm going to, where will I stock it? I'm stocking Corona in my office. That's not fair. So we need to collect. We need to plan how we are going to collect. We need to know how we are going to store that biomedical waste till it is disposed by the person, right? So next thing is plan your placement. Where are you planning to place your biomedical color-coded bins? Because there should be an yellow bin which has to be placed in the reception area, because people come with some mask and whatever things which if they wanted to put, there should be some, that yellow color bin is an ideal to be kept in the reception area. Fine, you need to plan an area, because we don't generally do this in a reception area, but we just keep a dustbin, right? Now we need to place and tell the patient that this is a biomedical color-coded bin. This will separate you from the other practitioners. Then plan your prescriptions, plan your payments. Is it going to be digital? Is it going to be, if it is going to be paper, if it is going to be in papers, how are you going to do it? You're going to wear all your PPE, you cannot write prescriptions. What I am planning is, I am not a digital person, to be frank. I'm not a digital person in giving this prescription and all. I love writing. What I'm planning to write. I know the combinations what I give for different type of patient for different cases. So I have decided to write everything. It's ready already. It's signed already. I have to select the right prescription for the right people. Maybe my assistant who is going to write, she's going to add on the toothpaste or mouthwash or extra things which I'm going to add on in the paper. If I'm going to give it in the paper, it is better to go paperless. So prepare your hospital. That is foremost important. Okay. Next comes the important list. Prepare a checklist for your hospital. Checklist to start your second innings in the history. I call this as a second innings. It's like almost opening a new clinic. What is the checklist? I'll go through very fast. Already you know a lot of things in this. Some people may feel this is unnecessary. What I'm saying is, it's like take up all this, customize to your practice. That is what I'm saying. Customize. Every practice is unique. You cannot buy everything. You cannot invest on anything. But you should know what is best. Try to implement one by one, depending upon your budget, depending upon the patient flow. Don't stock anything. Don't do panic buying. Panic buying is a sin. Panic buying is a sin. In my point of view, it's a sin. Don't do it. There are a lot of people who are in need. They are not able to buy. When we do panic buying, what we are doing, we are unnecessarily increasing the cost of the product. A young dentist who has opened his clinic for 1 or 2 years practicing, he cannot afford to go with an 800 or 900 or 1000 or 2000 PPE kits to see his patients. So think about that. Whatever that is needed, it should be of limited task. So this is just a checklist what I'm going to give. Okay, fine. Let me move on. All these are known to you. All these are must to have. What I'm saying is they are all must to have. Before stepping into your full-fledged AGP practice in your dental clinic, I strongly recommend you all to have all this. Okay, and I'm thanking lot of people are behind this, lot of guidelines, lot of people. We say a lot of things, this is not good, that is not good, but people have put in some effort. That's why I am able to take up some points from that. I'm going to give you some clarity, right? You need a quality latex gloves, you need a quality nitrile gloves, you need a bakery gloves. You know what I mean by bakery gloves. You need that plastic gloves. Instead of giving 2 gloses, you can give this bakery gloves, and over that, the receptionist or whoever is handling the infrared thermometer or whatever it is, they can handle this. It is very, very, very cheap. But do it. People appreciate that. People appreciate that. When we walk into a bakery who is using a gloves, we feel safe, right? The same thing, the same mentality the patient will have. Buy those bakery gloves. 3-ply surgical mask. I'm just reading it fast. N95 mask with a respirator. They call it with a respirator. Still now, the 3M company, yeah, it's not available in many places. You know the numbers, FFP2 or FFP3. Head cap, shoe cover, face shield, eye protective wear for the doctor and the associate doctor who is close to it. She is equally important. Whatever you are exposed, she is also exposed. Then, what I'm saying the list now is a must-have. Surgical autoclavable gowns for doctors and associate doctors. Surgical autoclavable gowns. Next, scrubs for doctors and staff. Generally, I don't do it generally. There are a lot of doctors in the group who are already doing all this. Okay, you are wearing a dress, you are going to the outside world, you are exposed to some amount of infection. It may be corona or whatever it is. Once you step into your clinic, whatever protocols, Dr. Sindel will carry on that journey for you. So scrubs for, I have decided to stitch scrubs for my doctors with some color codes. They wanted a dark blue for all my associates. They wanted me to wear a light blue. Discuss with them. Discuss with your team. They'll be happy. I'm hiring a tailor now. He's going to come. He's going to stitch exclusively for them. Cortex is one of the best company which supplies all these scrubs. You can buy ready-made, but that doesn't suit. I'm planning to buy things. I'll customize. I'm customizing things for my clinic, and I'm customizing dress also for my clinic. Nothing wrong. That works out around 850 or 900 or 1000 rupees per dress. If you buy the cloth and you stitch it, it is dead cheap. Dead cheap. Take it from me. Scrub for doctors and staff. Disposable cover-all gowns for doctors and hospitals. I am searching for it. To be frank, I'm searching for it. What I'm planning to do is, I will have a autoclavable surgical gowns. Over that, the full length, I will have this disposable cover-all gowns. Maybe after every AGP, I'll throw that disposable cover-all gowns in the dustbin. Fine. That should be biocompatible. I'm searching something like that. That should be biocompatible. That should be easy to remove. That should be cheaper also. Fine. So that is a must to have. We can try. I'm trying. If you get any contacts also, let us know the group. Next, you need to have a heavy utility gloves for non-clinical staff. The list may be bigger. I'll tell you one thing. The budget is very small. If you sit and calculate, it doesn't come to a few lakhs. It comes in few thousands. We need to invest. Disposable napkins are needed. 3 mouthwashes are needed in the clinic. One is the povidone iodine mouthwash, 0.2%. Chlorhexidine gluconate, what we give to the patients will not be effective for a coronavirus. There is ICPA company supplies for 0.5%. If I'm right. Okay, I think it is 0.5%. Exiprep. That is very much useful. Next is hydrogen peroxide mouthwash. 1% of hydrogen peroxide mouthwash. Half a cup of water. Put 3 drops. All these 3 mouthwashes are mandatory in the clinic. Mandatory in the clinic. Mandatory for the patients. Either you take up 1 or 2, preferable out of 3, you take any 2 at least. Then comes 3 important things to boost the immunity of your staff and the doctors in the hospital. So take vitamin C, 100 mg, take multivitamin, take zinc. They advise, the guidelines are giving, they have given the guidelines like we need to take this tablets at least 10 days before stepping into our practice. We have already started practice. It's okay. We'll start again. Take this vitamin C, take this multivitamin, take this zinc, because we need to raise the immunity to fight this COVID. Next, we need to have a pulse oximeter. Some people, even now it is a controversy. People say you don't need pulse oximeter, but it is better to have the pulse oximeter. It is not costly. It is not a very expensive thing to buy. So pulse oximeter will indicate a lot of things. Infrared thermometer, you know the use of it. Hand sanitizer, obviously we need to have. You need to have a separate footwear for doctors and the staff. Exhaust fan and the pedestal fan. Whoever doesn't want to use AC or for clinics without AC, best thing is to have this exhaust fan and the pedestal fan. Even the health ministry has given this guideline, which was released today. So chair without handles. This is what I am planning. Because chair without handles are easy to clean. Chair with handles are difficult to clean. So try to accommodate things that are easily cleansable, easily disinfectable. Then vaccines. Maybe some of you are very regular. What are all the vaccines needed for the dentist? BCG, diphtheria, and the HPV, hepatitis vaccine. These 3 vaccines are a must. Needle destroy, all this you know. Sterilization pouches, impression disinfectants. These are all I'm saying must to have list. Next, autoclave. Preferably a B-class autoclave. If not, at least an N-class autoclave. when we were formulating the list, we had an argument whether we need to put it as must have as a B class autoclave, or should I put it as just an autoclave. That's why I put the word as preferably a B class autoclave will solve a lot of things. Will solve a lot of things. Doing so many disinfection and sterilization protocols in your premises, and the instruments what you're going to use it on the patient's mouth, if it is not perfectly autoclave, then that doesn't make any sense. So preferable upgrade to a B class autoclave. If not, at least have an N class autoclave and know the process how to sterilize in an N class autoclave. Next, if it is always preferable to have a UV storage chamber now. Why I'm saying UV storage chamber? You autoclave things, you can put that in store it in the UV chamber. Plus, your N95 mask, they are like gold now. We cannot buy N95 mask. If you're able to buy a 3M N95 mask, you can disinfect that by placing it, disinfect or sterilize that by placing it into the UV chamber. Maybe Dr. Priyadarshini will help us to how to do that. High vacuum suction, it is must. It is a must. You cannot use the suction that comes, pneumatic suction which comes along with the chair. It's of no use. Please avoid. Biomedical color-coded plastic bins. It is better to have. People know a lot of things. So biomedical color-coded plastic bins. I'm searching for a bigger bin now. I'm going to buy that. Next, have whatever possible disposable sleeves for LC unit, RVG sensor, ultrasonic. Anyway, we're not going to use the ultrasonic scaler. If at all we start using that, all this, it's very easy to use a disposable sleeve. Otherwise, you have to disinfect each and every part what we are using. Make your life easy. That's why they are not costly, disposable sleeves. Next, we need to spray something on the teeth. Any filling, what you will do? It is preferable to have a disposable 3-way syringe. And the best thing is, which creates less splatter or less aerosol, is a chip blower. You can have a chip blower. And the most important thing, whatever you do, whenever possible, to whoever it is possible, please give a rubber dam, work under a rubber dam and accessories. These are all must to have list. All these things, don't worry friends, if at all you want to take a screenshot, you can take it. I have put it into a tabular column. We have put it like this. Surface disinfectants, glutaraldehyde or 1% sodium hypochlorite. Now, this should be used for all the surfaces in the operatory as well as in the non-operatory room. All surfaces can be cleaned with both these agents. Next comes the Corsolex. You know what is Corsolex? Glutaraldehyde. All the burrs, rubber balls, things like that. You can disinfect that with a Corsolex. Film barriers. You will need film barriers to cover the chair-like handles, your mobile, your laptop, whatever it is. This film barrier will be very, very useful. Your surgical spirit, buy as much as possible. All metallic surfaces, all material containers. You take something, some container, some GIC or whatever it is, whatever container you take for the dental material, make it a point. You can easily clean with the surgical spirit. Then what are all should be autoclaved? All dental instruments, hand towels, surgical scrubs, surgical gowns. You cannot buy so many PPEs. It's not possible. It's not practically possible. It's not practically possible to invest and charge the patient. You cannot charge the patient. The same financial crisis what we have, even the patient has the same financial crisis. Think from his point of view. Reduce his cost. Reduce your cost in a more intelligent way. So autoclave these things. Next comes the surface disinfectants. I have provided the cost also. We have inquired. These are all the cost of different surface disinfectants from different companies. Okay, Septodent supplies something like this, Bacillol spray, formaldehyde, Coltin has some beautiful Coltoclean HT. You can buy hypochlorite and you can dilute like what many speakers speak. The biggest problem with mixing such things is it has to be used once it is mixed. All this Coltoclean or branded materials, they will have the same concentration. So all these are some of the examples of some disinfectants. Okay, we have to find the right dealer to buy all this. You don't have to buy all the 9. Buy at least 1 or 2. Buy at least 1 or 2. Your floor can be cleaned in a different way. Your surfaces can be cleaned in a different way. Maybe for some costly areas where you can use, buy something like something from Coltin. That is quite a good surface disinfectant. Next comes your floor disinfectants. What all can you use? Domex, Lysol, Clorox. Even a simple bleaching powder mixed with water, 2 scoops of powder and half a bucket of water will solve your problem. Plain sodium hypochlorite mixed in water in the right concentration. That can be used as a floor disinfectant. Next comes, what are all the better to have? Here comes the biggest problem for everybody. Everybody is confused. Even I am confused. When I started researching about all this, even I'm confused. Now I'm clear. I know what is needed for my practice. I'll tell you what I have decided. Okay, let me put the list first for you. What are all available? Because we need to be aware. You cannot say it's a waste. You cannot say it's a waste. We need to be aware of every new product that is coming into dentistry. It is needed. So at some point of time, we need to upgrade. This is what separates you from the other practice. This is called something called, they call it as showcasing. This is something needed. Okay, but you have to decide what are all the things better to have. If you can have an air purifier with a HEPA filter, it's fine, because you can switch on your AC. Different operator, you can place one HEPA filter. If I can afford, buy an HEPA filter. HEPA filter, the air purifier with HEPA filter, 13 and 14. There is something called negative ion generator. The only difference between this air purifier and this negative ion generator is, in the air purifier, I'll tell you friends, this air purifier are designed not for dental clinics. They are designed to filter the air, right? But there is one hidden expense always there in this air purifiers. You need to change the filters at specific point of time. I'll tell you one thing, we generate lot of aerosol. How many filters will we change? That is the biggest question why I'm thinking twice before buying this air purifier. If I'm ready to spend again, then it's okay. Then comes my negative ion generator. What is this negative ion generator? This has a better technology and it gives lot of things. It is one-time investment and it has lot of features. All these things, if you want information, I can put it in the group. I can share it with you all. Next comes the UV GIC disinfecting lights. One of the best way. The best thing I like about this UV GIC is it needs just 20 minutes to sterilize the whole area. UVC light towers. It comes in two forms. Either it comes in the tube light form, where you can fix it in different places of your clinic, and it also comes in the UVC light towers, UVC chamber for accessory storage, extra oral suction. All these are luxury. I know it is a luxury, but think about it. I am planning to buy one washing machine, especially for my hospital use, because I am not going to buy this disposable or autoclavable PPEs. I'm going to use a lot of surgical gowns. Then what will I do? Will I have to bring all my cloth into my home? I cannot do that. So I'm planning to buy. All these are better to have. It's not a must. An ultrasonic cleaning bath, a hand sanitizer dispenser with a foot control. That makes a lot of sense. Patient will appreciate. Even one of my friend, Dr. Jay Karan, he has bought this dispenser and he has put it in the group that people are appreciating. People will appreciate. That doesn't cost much, 1,300 to 1,500 rupees. A soap and a water dispenser with a foot control. All these are better to have. I tell you, I'm repeating it. All these are better to have. It's not a must. It's not at all a must. Even a soap and a water dispenser with a foot control, that makes a lot of sense. Who will open the tap and who will close it? What soap will we give? If it is foot control, anybody can handle it. It is better to have. Buy some disposable PPE for doctors and associate director of 90 GSM. For housekeeping people, they are equally like doctors. Treat them like doctors. Give them the best of PPE because they are in the highest risk. More than doctors. We have a lot of protection. They are in the biggest risk. Give them 90 GSM if you can afford to. There are disposable PP for non-clinical staff, 70 GSM, disposable patient coverall gowns, autoclavable PP, all these are better to have. It's not a must. Whoever doesn't want to buy, whoever doesn't want to invest on this, it is not at all a must. But think about picking up at least 1 or 2 or 3 from this list. Okay, about air purifier and just rushing because we have a lot of things behind. So this is the specifications needed for an air purifier. We are not behind any company. Amway seems to be the best Atmosphere Mini that costs around 35 to 40K. Other companies are Sharp or the Dyson. Dyson is costly, Sharp is economical. The best thing about the Atmosphere Mini is it doesn't emit ozone. That is one drawback with Sharp. Next comes the UV GIC light. All the specifications I have given. I don't have to read all this. You can clearly understand. Okay. This just a minute.
Goodbye, baby.
Just mute it. Okay. Next comes the rough cost. Rough cost of that. I'm hearing a lot of sounds now. Just a minute. Rough cost is 2,500 to 3,000 for a Philips bulb. We have UIGC towers, which comes from some minimum of 7,500 to 15,000. Take a screenshot. Try, plan. If you want, take up this. Next comes the. Just a minute. Next slide. Okay, this is what I'm saying. It is more effective in controlling the bacterial and the viral load. No need to change any filter, unlike any air purifiers. But the cost, you have to pay for the price. You have to pay for the quality, right? It is the 40 to 45K. It is worth. It comes around 40 to 45K. As far as I have inquired, they are called negative ion generator. There are plus, there are minus in every product. But compared to a air purifier, this seems to be a little bit better. But you need to pay for it, right? Next comes I'm very much fond of eco-friendly products. I have found an eco-friendly product. This is called ViroBlitz, where they use it in big hospitals. They use this. Even the cost of this is equal to this air purifier. Okay, no HEPA filters, no activated carbon, no negative ions, no ozone used, no UVC used. It is an eco-friendly technique. I have a lot of things, a lot of studies behind this. I have gone through all this. You can go ahead with buying all those things if you can afford to. Next comes your eco-friendly. I'll tell you one thing. The cheapest and the easiest way to purify your hair. There are lot of plants in front of our eyes in this world. We have forgot. I am thanking Dr. Priyadarshini for finding me all this beautiful plants. I asked her to find the plants, all the indoor plants, which will purify the air. They absorb toxic gases like carbon monoxide, xylene, formaldehyde vapors, and benzene. They release lot of oxygen. These are all the names of those plants. If I say all these names, you may not understand it, but take a screenshot. You can search, you can find it. I'll show the pictures. These are all the plants. This is something like money plant. Devil's eye is nothing but the money plant. These are all the plants which I'm showing in the, buy those, keep it in the, because we are removing everything in the clinic. At least let it look green, right? All these things will take all the unnecessary things, particles from the air. So buy those things. All these are all the plants. I'm going to search all this. I'm going to buy all this. I'm going to keep, before buying my HEPA filter or UVGIC or whatever it is, I'm going to do all this. Okay. So next comes in, now my final slide is prepare yourself and your team. Communicate well about your COVID-19, about the COVID-19 with each member in your team. Don't take it for granted. We need to communicate well with every member in your family. I feel very difficult to control my family than rather controlling my team member. They just go directly into the gate, they open, they immediately get something. We need to educate them, communicate well, sit with your family, tell them, teach them, do mock drills to familiarize all the protocols. Nobody will learn in a single day. It's very difficult. It's something new for us. Take the opinion of everyone, respect the team, reassure and give confidence to every member of your team and the family. Allocate specific work to everyone. Specific work. I'll mind you, this is most important thing. Everybody cannot touch everything like before. COVID era is different. We need to allocate specific work. We should be very, very specific. Specific to the pinpoint specific we should be. We should tell every team, this is your job. This is what you need to do. You cannot take chances. Take responsibility, raise the immunity of everyone in a team as well as your family. And above all, before I finish, I'll tell you, be a leader. Be an example. You can ask me, why should I do? People are already opening. They are doing a lot of procedure. They have started today. My technician told me, sir, people have started giving acrylic cases. If they are giving acrylic cases to the lab, they have started already AGP. I don't know. Everybody has started with so many things. But when I started my presentation, I told you, I feel responsible for my patients. I feel responsible for my family. I feel responsible for my society. I want to be a standout dentist. I don't want to be a dentist among thousands. I want to be dentist among 5 or 10. I want to be in a different zone. I want to be in the best of my practice. I want to give the best to my patients. So do all this, try all this. After hearing all this, customize, please customize. Take all these slides. We'll provide everything. If possible, if this recording goes well, I'll share it in the Facebook also. Maybe this is not perfect. We have tried our best. So take it from me, friends. And here I end my preparation in the hospital, my preparation with the checklist, and my preparation of my team. It is done. Now comes the real scenario. Dr. Sindhil will take up that. Already you know a lot of things. So one of the golden tip to finish, I'll tell you, to kickstart your practice immediately, the key is to focus on your existing patients. It is more dangerous to touch a new patient than to start an existing patient. That is what, put a priority list. This is more important. We are doing all this for our patients, nothing else. It is not earning money. That is all different. Nobody is going to pay so much now. We are all doing this for our patients. We are professionals. We are bound to do this. We are also in the frontline healthcare system. So we need to focus on our existing patients, call them, find them, finish all the, I have put a priority list now. I'm giving priority to my, all the patients who are already in the middle of the treatment. All my old patients are my first preference now. Next comes my new patient. Next comes my new patient. Focus on your existing patients. Focus on your existing patients. Because I do a lot of full mouth rehabilitation cases. They're all long cases. If I start a case, it will take 2-3 months to finish. I need to be in touch with them. I call them. In all this time, I used to call them. My assistant used to call them. We used to keep in touch with them. So keep in touch with the existing patients.